What's up everyone, back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing two beers from the Noble Beast Brewing Company, and they are out of Cleveland, Ohio, and I have their Union Pils and their Murder Ballads. So Union Pils is a Bohemian lager, aka a Czech-style Pilsner, that comes in at 4.9% alcohol by volume and 36 IBUs, while Murder Ballads is a Baltic Porter that comes in at 8.1% alcohol by volume and 39 IBUs at the time of review. Both of these beers are just over 3 months old. I'm going to give a huge thanks and shout out once again to a very good friend of mine and a viewer of the channel, Curtis, for both of these beers, so big thanks to him. In the description box, I'll post a link to the beer mail boxing video I did that contains all the goodies that he hooked me up with, and I'm so happy he sent me two beers from Noble Beast. I've heard really good things about them over the past year and a half, especially when it comes to lagers and like old world style beers. They apparently kill it, and I know Curtis really enjoys both of these beers, so he sent them my way, and I could not be happier to review both of these in the same review. This is like a showcase beer review. I've never had anything from Noble Beast, so I thought, why not review both of these beers at the same time? We got a lower ABV Czech-style Pilsner and then a bigger Baltic Porter, so I'm really looking forward to it. Now, I'm not going to do the double pour. Last time I did that with the Wicked Weed beers, didn't go that great. So I'm going to crack this one over here open, this Czech-style Pilsner, and give it a pour into the glass. And then what I'll do is I'll also pour the Baltic Porter a little bit after this one. So we'll do something like that. A little bit of cheat on the side. Leave a little bit in the can. Throw this over here, and then we will pour the Murder Ballads. Now, I'm really excited about this because I don't drink a lot of Baltic Porters. You don't see a lot of Baltic Porters. So really cool to see one and actually have Curtis send it my way. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Boy, does it look beautiful in the glass pouring out. So do something like that. About the same? Yeah, about the same. A little bit of cheat. Really can't tell, honestly, because I'm just taking a little nibble of each one. All right, so what we'll do is swirl this up here, and we'll swirl this up, and we'll look at them. They look exactly the same. No, they obviously look how they should. This has a great clarity to it. It has a nice amount of chill haze, and just because condensation, but hold it up to the light. Yeah, that has a beautiful look to it. I can see my hand through it. You're probably going to at least be able to see my shadow, maybe my hand, finger of this off-white, really creamy looking head. Looks beautiful. The body itself has a beautiful golden color to it. Yeah, looks awesome. A little bit darker maybe than a lot of the Czech-style beers that I drink, or the Czech-style Pilsners and Pale Lagers, but still really nice. This has some alcohol legs around it. Has about a half finger of a dark brown colored head, pitch black in the glass. Hold up to light, you can't see anything through that, but that also looks awesome. And like I said, you hold these up next to one another, and I'll say those are just really nice looking beers. Plain and simple. Anyway, we are going to obviously go with the Czech Pils first because it's lower ABV, and you should. Let's get a nose on it. Oh. So it has that breadiness that I associate with like a German Pils. If you get a German Pils or a Czech Pils or a Czech Pale or a German Helles, that like complex breadiness, that more so in a Helles, right? But it's here. It has like the toasted like bready quality. Like a toasted, I wouldn't even say sourdough, just like a toasted, like maybe slightly darker bread. Yeah, for sure. And then in addition to that, I'm getting a little bit of like orchard fruits, apple, pear, maybe a touch of like a lemon zest. And then it has a spicy. Joe, it doesn't have a spicy. It has I want to say spicy and floral, but I said spicy. So it has a spicy aroma. It has a spicy floral kind of tone to it. A little bit grassy, but more spicy and floral. Yeah. Touch of herbaceousness. Smells very clean. There is no diacetyl in here. I get that occasionally in Czech-style Pilsners and Pale Lagers. Not getting it here. It smells so fucking clean and bright. Like, I just want to crush. I want to house that right now. But we're not. We're going to go over here and smell this one first. You know what? I'm just going to, let's review them separately. Like, I always start, let me just review this separately. That's the whole point of the showcase. It's not to compare the beers. It's to review them separately, but in the same video. So anyway, cheers, everybody. Thanks again to Curtis. Can't wait. Oh, my God. Smooth, going down smooth like butter, but There's no butter in here. It just has such a smoothness about it. Wow. So, buying this, I'd say like lower side of medium body, 4.9% is fine. The mouthfeel is fantastic though. Very crisp, but not overly done, like moderate carbonation, but very noticeable. Super smooth on the palate. It just glides down the palate. Mouthfeel is fantastic. The taste, the nose carries over, up front, tons of complex, slightly toasted bread. You could say sourdough. I'm gonna say a slightly darker bread, like just an offshout of like a white bread. So you could say sourdough. You could say something in that realm. It's not just straight white bread, but very slow, slightly toasted bread. Dives underneath the palate, omnipresent. You don't really pick it up too much until like the back of the palate. It hits a little bit on the finish. But after that, lots of orchard fruit, lemon, again, lemon zest, the rind of like a red apple, maybe the core of a pear. So, something in that realm, like you're getting, you know, slight characteristics of the orchard and citrus fruit, but it's not too big. I didn't notice it in the nose, but there's a little bit of that lager funk, the sulfur, probably an appropriate amount here. It's not too big, but it's noticeable on the palate, but it, again, wasn't in the nose. Finish is incredibly clean, quite refreshing, and it has that, again, spicy, floral, slight herbaceousness on the finish. This finish is full on dry with a mild to moderate bitterness. The bitterness isn't too big, but that dryness really helps. This is a really well done Bohemian lager. Like, you drink a shit ton of these. I'm not going to rate it yet, but let me just say it's really well done. You know, I'm too robotic a lot of times with this, and I go by the book. We will rate it. Let's rate it fucking right now. I'm going to pour the rest in here. 4.9%, you can't tell. You know, this is a by-the-book Czech-style Pilsner, Bohemian lager, whatever you want to call it. It's incredibly well done. The mouth feels awesome. The flavors are bright and vibrant, but not overly done. Dry enough with a little bit of bitterness to balance it out. Super clean. That sulfur note, no diacetyl. Like, really good, really good. I can't go like crazy high, but I'm going to go pretty high. So I'm going to give this beer right here, Union Pils from Noble Beast. I'm going to give this a, we'll go high 4.25. We'll go 4.3 out of 5. Really good, in the realm of some of the other breweries that I feel make fantastic lagers, like your Schillings and your Human Robot. This is not far off. And it's better than some of them, if I'm being honest. It's just a very well-made beer, and I enjoy it. So, yeah, anyway, let's go over to the Baltic Porter. Now, if I'm being honest with you, I was more psyched for this one. I don't drink a ton of Baltic Porters. You don't see a ton of Baltic Porters, as I said. So when he sent one, I was like, all right, I'm ready for it. And here we are. Jesus Christ. It smells like an imperial porter, but there's this kind of, I don't want to say, it sounds stupid just because it's lager in my mind. I'm like, oh, it smells clean. It just smells just like well brewed. Like it's I don't know how to explain it. But there's tons of like cocoa powder. There's a little bit of coffee, caramel, roasty, toasty kind of malt character. Dark fruits are very vibrant in this one. Like getting like a dark, like a dark grape. I would say dark grape into like dark cherry. Maybe even like a little bit of plum action. There's a touch of like a earthy hop character. Maybe slightly like resinous, but more earthy. Oh, it just smells lovely. God damn. I want to get into it. Cheers, everybody. Thanks again, Curtis. Wow, is that delicious. For some reason, I wasn't expecting that. I have no idea. Oh my God, the aftertaste. Curtis sent me a message, and he was like, I love this beer. This beer is awesome. I was like, all right. You know, we all have different tastes. Like Curtis and I, our palates align most of the time. Sometimes we're, you know, slightly different opinions. Probably a couple beers where we're not completely on the same page. This is fucking phenomenal. This is a great Baltic Porter. I want to go back for another sip. Wow. There's so much going on in the taste. Very complex. The body, higher side of medium, lower side of full. So I think for 8.1%, it's appropriate. Plus, it's a lager, so you know, or it's lagered. So I don't expect the viscosity you get with something that's like, you know, an imperial stout at like 8.5%, 9%, but it's close. It's close to something like that. The mouthfeel is where you really notice a difference. It has a crispness to it, like a mild to moderate carbonation. It's very clean. Like I said, I could smell like, it sounds stupid, I smell a cleanliness, but the cleanliness on the palate is definitely noticeable. It almost drinks like, you know, a Czech-style dark lager, like a German black lager. Like it just has that clean, refreshing feeling, and it's 8.1%. It's smooth, slightly creamy on the palate, but the body and mouthfeel are fantastic. The taste, though, the complexity is through the roof. Right up front, there's a roasty, toasty kind of feeling, and I don't know if it's like malt character or a coffee character. It could be a little bit of both, but that's the first thing that hits me. Then I get, again, cocoa powder, like a baker's chocolate, but like a darker version of it. So like a dark baker's chocolate, or even like a 60, 70% cacao bar chocolate character. A little bit like caramel, toffee, slight caramelized sugar vibes. And then the dark fruits really ramp up mid-palate. And again, it's dark grape, it's black cherry, and it's plums. 100% those three in a row. Yeah, maybe even a touch of vanilla. On the finish, though, you get a lot of that, you know, the first half, first 2/3 of the palate is just sweeter, decadent, rich, malty goodness. But on the second half palate, this finishes with this earthy, slightly resinous pine kind of feeling. I don't even say, she says like an earthy kind of like, maybe more of a floral kind of hop character. This is mild to moderately bitter, more approaching moderate. There's a nice bitterness here, but it's not overblown. And it has a nice mild to, or it's just a 7 full-on dry finish as well. It's very balanced, is the way I would look at it. And again, exceptionally clean. Like I could house this glass. Pour the rest in here. As I continue to drink on it, the mouthfeel, like I said, it's smooth with a moderate carbonation, but there's a little bit of like a creaminess that's hitting me as well as I continue to drink on it. 8.1%, a little bit warming in the chest, but really nothing on the palate. It's clear, probably from me reviewing these back to back in the same video, that this is my preference. I thought it would be. But this is nothing to sneeze at. This is a fucking fantastic, well-made beer within the style. This just hits me directly in the feels. Like, this is just kind of what I want. I want to kind of take my time with this one because it's, again, so clean and somewhat refreshing for what I mean, you look at this beer, it's like, how's that going to be refreshing? I don't know, it is. But it has such a cleanliness to it. And it's very easy to drink despite the ABV that I could just probably take it down in 5 to 10 minutes and I'd be feeling way too good, especially drinking both of these beers. Now, the reason I did these two in one sitting is because it's fine. It's fine. It's like, yeah, I'll take probably an hour and a half to finish these off. I'll probably take this down and let this come to room temperature. It's fine. I don't do this often, but 4.9 and 8.1, I thought it was okay to do. We'll see how that ends up. But this beer right here is my preference of the two, and I think it's one of the better Baltic Porters I've had in a hot minute. So Murder Ballads from Noble Beast. I am going to give this beer right here a high 4.5. I'll go 4.55. I think I like this one about a quarter point better than that. But here's the thing. First two beers from Noble Beast, and I didn't even mention, do they both have? No, this one doesn't. This was a 2020, won a silver at the at a Great American Beer Fest, and then 2019 it won the bronze at GABF as well. And I can see why. This is, again, fucking phenomenal. 4.5 out of 5, or 4.55 out of 5. Just fantastic. And they both have a little spiel here, so let me see here. We'll read this one first. It says, traditionally brewed with a double decoction mash to enhance malt flavor and balance with Czech Saaz hops for a delightfully floral and spicy aroma. Yes. Lagered 2 months for clarity of flavor. Nice. And they talk about decoction mash, which I won't read because it'll just make this review even longer, but you can check it out on Google. Now, this one says, a cold lager fermentation brings out complex malt flavors of chocolate, toffee, and dark fruits, rich and creamy till the end. Lagered horizontally 2 months for clarity of flavor. So, yeah, I think they pretty much nailed the tasting notes, and I wasn't far off on both of them. So, both delicious beers. 4.3 out of 5, 4.55 out of 5. Fantastic. Price point and availability. These are both, I think, $12 a 4-pack. I'm pretty sure. All I know is this was $11.99 4-pack because it was still, he left the sticker, Curtis, and this was $3.50 a can. If these are in the same vein, even, let's say this is more like $14 a 4-pack. Let's just say this is a $14 4-pack because it might not be 12. I would pay up to $16. I'd pay up to $18 a 4-pack for this. So whatever Noble Beast is charging is less than what I would assume. $12 a 4-pack all fucking day, up to $18 4-pack all day. If this is 12, I looked on their website and I'm pretty sure this said $12 4-pack. The can said $3.50. So $3.50 would indicate $14 4-packs, but the individual cans are usually more expensive. So I don't know. If I can get these for the same price, I'm taking this all day just because of the ABV, the complexity, just everything about it. But this is nothing to sneeze at for $11.99 a 4-pack. Just saying. And availability, I have no idea what Noble Beast, Curtis, doesn't live in Cleveland but gets their stuff, so I'd imagine they get throughout Ohio. But outside of that, I think you have to be in Ohio, or you can't get it outside of Ohio, so you got to be there. I don't know if they do like online shipping or anything, but first two beers I have from Noble Beast, I will say this. When I go to Cleveland, I'll be hitting up them, Masthead, and Great Lakes. And if I decide to go a little bit further to Sandusky, I'll hit up Clegg. But yeah, I wanted to go to the brewery and just get a couple flights and just check out other stuff and maybe bring some 4-packs home and whatnot. But if you can do single cans, which it seems like, I buy a can of everything they have there and review it and enjoy it. Anyway, if you've had either of these beers, post in the comment section. Let me know what you thought about them. Again, Curtis liked both of these. I think his preference was this by a smidge, but he also said how good this beer was. So he clearly enjoyed them as well. If you're in and around Cleveland and you never heard of Noble Beast and you like old world / lager styles, check them out. They make some fantastic beers, and I can tell you, quality, just based on these two beers alone, awesome. No off flavors, nothing going on. Just fantastic beers through and through. So huge thanks to Curtis for both these beers. Oh yeah, 8.1%. A little bit of a warming now in the chest as I drank on it. No astringent on the palate, so hides it relatively well, although I can tell this is like a bigger beer. I'd guess like 7.5 to 8, so not really hiding it all that well. I don't expect it to. This, you're not going to taste at 4.9, but they're both just extremely well. Do I do a cuvee? I'm not going to do the cuvee. You want me to tell you why? I'm not going to do a cuvee because I have absolutely no interest in ruining each of these beers. I'll just say that, right? Even if it's a couple ounces of each, I don't want to. They're great on their own. If these were, maybe beers that were similar style, but it's a Baltic Porter and a Czech-style, Czech-style dark Pilsner. I'm not going to mix both of these. I enjoy them so much on their own. I don't even want to chance an ounce or two of each of them at this point. So if you're waiting for the cuvee and the mixture, not going to happen. I'm sorry. It's one of the rare reviews where it's not going to happen. I like the beers too much on their own. Curtis, if you were thinking about it, sorry, buddy. Anybody else, sorry. I'm just going to enjoy these on their own. No fucking mixing. No cuvees, no cuvies, nothing. Just going to drink the rest of them. Anyway, appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. To the next one, I guess we'll just go with this one. Cheers. Thanks again, Curtis. Cheers.